Hi everyone, and welcome back to Pounds and Pennies Budgets. Thanks everybody who has already viewed my first video and made comments. That was really appreciated. And so today we are doing week 3 cash stuffing for January. So let's start by looking at what we've got to stuff for this week. So week 3. We have 20, 40, 60, 81, 10, 20, 30, 40, 45, 50, 150 to stuff. And we have got leftover from the food budget, so we've got £5 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, £7 coins, and then some change for penny. So we will put some of that into challenges a little bit later. And then left in my purse I've got 20, 30, £1 and 3 more pennies. Put that into a challenge and we'll also decide where that's going to go shortly. Okay. So let's start then with the money that we're going to have this week for food. So we can have 20, 40, 60, 80 going into food. And then for my spending money we'll have 20, 30, 40, 50. And we will do the infinity challenge to see what we will put aside into other categories. So last week I ended up with £30 spending money, I believe. It's just slightly too big for these envelopes. I've took the little zipper off to try and get it in and out easier, and it's still tricky. That's just money that needs to go back to the bank. So yes, I had to give up 15 last time, so let's roll the dice. And that is my rolling pad for coins. So plus 3. So we're going around clockwise. 1, 2, 3. Oh, only 5. Right. So let's just swap those to 10, and we'll have £5 going towards challenges. And so 45 going into my purse for spending money this week, which is quite good because we are going to go out this weekend. The reason I didn't spend much of that money last week is that my other half has been not very well, so we kept cancelling lots of things. So hopefully we will get to do some nice things this weekend and we'll spend some of that money. What I thought I would do is just talk you through a little bit of the categories that I've got in each folder. So in this one we have home, and within home we are putting money aside for home improvements, building up the money for house insurance, trying to build up a bit of a bank of money for home furnishings, because I tend to find that any bigger home furnishings we end up taking out of home improvements, and then that delays any projects that we're hoping to do. And then we have household products, so we're going to put £10 in household products for this week, and that's obviously one that goes up and down quite frequently, so I don't put that on the tracker, but we do have the tracker for the home improvements. So trying to build this up to £1,000, I do need to update this because we have spent a bit of money from it on pillows, so that's what I mean. It ends up money from home improvements end up getting used for more like home furnishings and home accessories, so I want to try and have a separate pot for that. And then we have a tracker for the house insurance, so trying to build up 250. I think ours was just over £200 last year, so trying to build up £250 for that one. I then have car, and within car I have car maintenance fund, which currently we have £220 in the bank for car maintenance. A tyres fund, because I have a car that seems to have incredibly expensive tyres, so I do this as a separate fund, and there is nothing in it at the moment because I just have recently needed to change 2 tyres. When I went to take it to them to be changed, it turned out that actually I'd had a mixture of run flats and normal tyres put on, which they wouldn't recommend, and I also had a slow puncture in one of them, so I ended up having to replace all 4 tyres, so that entire fund went. So I'm going to try and build that back up, and I try and have it at £1,000. Hopefully never have to replace all 4 tyres again in one go, but that's what happened this time, so I'm glad I did have that put aside. Car tax, which has its £200 in, which is fully funded for this year, and car insurance, which has £400, which again, I think my car insurance last year was 300 and something, so that should cover me for this year when it's due. So that is car. I do have a car maintenance tracker and tyre fund tracker, which is currently back to 0. And then we have travel. So in travel, I've split it up into accommodation, spending money, fuel, and future trips. So the particular holiday that we have booked and we're going on is just a UK holiday. So we have paid for the accommodation, and I have £100, £200, £300 in the bank for spending money, and £100 for fuel. So that is probably enough for fuel, splitting it with my partner, so he'll put some money towards fuel as well. And realistically it's probably enough for spending money as well, but I will put a little bit more in there. And then currently we have £55 in future trips, so I haven't got anything planned to book yet, but I do normally each year like to do a little solo trip somewhere. Again, normally in the UK, although I keep thinking I'd like to venture maybe going for a city break in Europe somewhere, but we shall see. So I have the tracker for the holiday. So as I say, this one it's a UK holiday. We've already paid the accommodation, so I'm just trying to build up £750 for spending money, fuel, and any other little bits and pieces like that. And then I have my emergency fund tracker in here. This is mostly done digitally, but I do have an envelope in one of my other folders just in case I get I have emergency fund on one of my like roll with it challenges, so if I do end up putting cash in, I let it build up in there, and then when I take it to the bank I add it onto the tracker. So that is this folder. So then the next one I have is kind of like my short-term sinkings funds, I guess you would call it. So we have dining out. Now, any money that's left over from our kind of household budgeting, so from the food, or I do something a little bit different if it is a 4-week month, because I always budget for 5 weeks, so then we have that excess money for week 5 that we can kind of split into these. So if it is household money rather than my own personal money, my plan is to pop it between dining out, which is specifically just for myself and my partner to go for meals out and things like that, home improvements and home furnishings, trying to build that up a little bit. So I'm going to pop this one, as it's only £5, into the dining out one. So we've now got £25 in dining out. So then I have my entertainment fund, which is kind of like my social fund, I guess. So I just try and build this up. What I tend to find is when I'm buying gifts for people, quite often I buy experiences, so maybe afternoon tea or going to the theatre or something like that. So typically I have their budget for their present, but then I'm going as well, so then I have to find the money for my part of that as well. So I thought if I build this up, anything that I'm doing in that sort of thing where it's social and going out with friends, it becomes a pot of money then I can pull from, rather than always trying to find that extra bit of money or taking that out from gifts when it's kind of my part of the experience. I have clothing, which currently has nothing in. It says there's 150 in the bank, but I have recently just bought some clothing, so there is nothing left in there, so I will take that placeholder out. Beauty, skincare and makeup, I currently have 20, 40, 50, 5, so a lot of that is Christmas money actually, because I want to just treat myself to a no Kiehl's day and night cream, so I thought I'd put my Christmas money towards that. I have books, which currently has £15 in. A lot of these categories I don't budget for week to week or month to month. It's kind of where there's that bit of excess, I will top those up, so they very much are just the luxuries. Health, I currently have 165 in the bank, and mainly covers sort of dentist appointments, which I do have a dental and hygienist appointment coming up in February, but that should be enough for that. We then have a pets fund, so we currently have £950 in the bank for pets, which is sort of really covering if we have sort of vet bills that we need to cover, or just more significant spends really on our dog. His food money really comes out of just our household budgets. And then this is the folder I was telling you about that I keep money in for the emergency fund that I sort of let build up, so mostly this is in the bank. I've worked really hard to build up my emergency fund, so there's quite a bit in there. So I've got 5,290 in the bank, 5,305 at the moment in my emergency fund. I spent a long time looking at how much I need for sort of the real bare bones, like if things went really terrible, lost jobs, oh bless me, too ill to work, etc. How much I would need month to month to just cover the absolute essentials, and then I looked at what I would need to cover a month of essentials and just some of those more, you know, nice to haves, or not essentials, but kind of you want to have them month to month. And then also thinking about actually what would I love to have available to me each month, kind of like my luxury budget. And so I created myself a goal of trying to get 3 months of the kind of bare bones budget, and then 3 months of the nice to have budget, and then 3 months of the luxury one, and then building that up towards 6,000. So I think currently at 6 months worth, sorry, I think currently I've covered 6 months of bare bones budget with that, and I think I might have made 3 months for the kind of middle of the road budget. I'm not quite sure, I'll have to double check that. So that's that folder there. And then transportation is just fuel money, which I tend to put on my credit card and then just pay off each month. This one we haven't been into yet, but this is my kind of gifts and Christmas binder. So I have a folder for family birthdays, which is sort of all the other family members, friends' birthdays, and then special birthdays. So I seem to have a lot of kind of 40th birthdays and things like that coming up in the near future, where I know I'll spend a little bit more on those, so I'm just trying to sort of set aside a bit of extra money above friends and things for that. I've then got Mother's Day and Father's Day, and then I split Christmas into, so we've got Christmas gifts, Christmas food, Christmas extras, and then I've just created this one, which is Christmas spirit. So I'd like to start having a bit of a fund already put aside for Christmas for the kind of Christmas parties and Christmas events and Christmas meals and things that we like to do at that time of year. So Christmas spirit. So those are all currently empty at the moment. I do have a little bit of money in gifts in bank account, but that's about to go, so we need to start building that back up again. Okay, and then this last one is my savings challenge binder. So I tend to keep my weekly money amounts in here. And then I have my infinity challenge, and then this one is a new one that I've just been having to play with, and it was just a little bit of nostalgia really. My partner thinks I'm crazy. But so I've created a little paper fortune teller savings challenge. So on here you choose your colour or roll a dice and spell out the word. So if I chose blue, I'd go BLUE, and then use perhaps a 4-sided dice, roll the dice, see what you get. I haven't got a 4-sided one, but I'll just use this one. So I've got 3, and then looking under number 3, it tells you what you need to save. So add the digits in your age together to save the total. So that for me would be £12. No, not £12, not that old yet, £11. So that is just a little new one that I've been putting together for that. Just some fun saving challenges. That was the one that I showed you last week. And then I have Cream Bob from Planners, which was one of her free digital downloads, which we're saving towards Christmas. I've also downloaded and bought this one as a digital download from Etsy from This Girl Budgets, which is Save 2025 in 2025. So it just has the number with the different amounts to save through there. So we like that. And then I showed you that last time. So that's the Colour the Rainbow challenge that I'm doing at the moment. And then the Pixel Perfect challenge from Budget with Ira. And the Penny Saving challenge from Lily Rain Designs. So that's it. So let's decide what we're going to do. So I also budget £10 a week, unless it's a 5-week month, don't in the final week, but £10 a week, 2 savings challenges. So we've got that to go in there. I've also got my £30 left over from spending from last week, which is amazing. I just don't think I spent any money, because then what did I have to give? Maybe I spent £5. Oh yes, I did. I did spend £4, and that's the pound left over. And then I can't even remember where this was from. That is also that, wasn't it? It was what I've got from. What has gone wrong here? So I've got my £30 left over, £5 this week from the Infinity Challenge. Yes, that makes sense. And then £10 that I budget. So we've actually got quite a lot of money to put into savings challenges this time. And then we have some pound coins to put in as well. So let's do the pound coins first, and I'm going to pop those into Colour the Rainbow challenge. So shall I use the dice this time, and then I'll decide what's going in budget with that as well. So, oh, that wasn't very good. Try again. Terrible. Okay, so yellow anyway, which is £2. So let's put £2 in there. And then we shall colour in another yellow. So it's going to take quite a while to do this one, but it's a nice thing to do with the pound coins left over at the end of the week, and once it's finished it will save £250, which is great. So then going into Pixel Perfect, we've got 2 for £6. Okay, so 6 is a purple, so let's do that. So I'm not very good at getting these very straight. Oh, terrible. There we go. So this one I think will take a while. You can just choose for every pixel to be a certain amount, but I am doing it by the number that I'm stickering has value, so I'm putting the amount of money in for each colour. So it will take a while, but I think again this will actually save quite a lot of money in the end. So a slow burn, but I quite like those kinds of challenges. You can just gradually see your progress. Okay, so let's decide what we're going to do with this money. I think I am going to use some of it in Roll With It to try and put some money in some of those other categories. So as I was saying, there's some categories I don't budget for all the time. So books, social and skincare, I don't put money in continually. It's sort of just as and when I've got the money to put in. So that's why I've kind of put those on here. And then I've just also included emergency fund, savings challenges and holiday. I just remembered I have done another roll with it challenge. Ah, yes, this one. For any money left over for household spending. So we popped it in dining out, but really I should roll the dice and it would have gone in home furnishings. But I'm happy with dining out for now. But yeah, I forgot I did that. So I've done another roll with it that's for money left over for household money. And then I have a roll with it that's for my own personal money that's left over. So let's do, I do these in £5 increments. So let's decide. Let's do 4 rolls and then we'll put the rest into saving challenges. So we have 1, which is books. Brill. Let's get that one out then. Maybe I need to just have that there and I can fit it here. So books, which I think I've got a 5 in, which will be useful. Let's put a 10 in. Oh, actually, let's put a 20 in and take out 15. Brilliant. And that is books. And then 2, which is social. Fabulous. To have that topped up. Okay, let's leave that there because I think most of the ones are in here. So 2, social again. Fabulous. Let's put 10 in. And take 5 out. So 1 more roll for roll with it. 3, which is emergency fund. Oh, which is also in here. Have a look. Brilliant. So that's £20 of cash in emergency fund now. I'll let that build up a little bit before I put that in the bank. Okay, so let's roll with it. So let's decide then what we're going to do with this last £25. So I think I would like to put another 10 in Christmas and get another Christmas jumper crossed off. So that lovely yellow one. So that's £20 in there now. And so 2025, I think I want to use our household money here, but I would be happy to put some money in towards it as well. So let's get a first one crossed off here. And let's do £10 as well. So let's use, I think maybe we'll alternate pink and purple on this one. So let's do that first £10 there. Okay, so that's the first bit towards there. I don't know if we're going to make 2025, but it'd be wonderful if we did. It'd be a good house project saved for right there. Okay, and so for the last £5, where do I want to put this one? Do I do another roll? Yeah, let's do another roll. 5 savings challenge. Okay, it's clearly supposed to go into savings challenges. So let's pop the other £5 in here as well. I don't know if I can do £5 though. I think 10 is the lowest denomination. And there aren't any 15s either. Okay, not that one then. Let's stick it in Save the Rainbow. In fact, I'm going to stick it in Save the Rainbow, but which colours have I not done yet? So I haven't done a green or a blue. Okay, I can't do both of those. Let's do a green and 2 reds. I feel like I'm making a bit more progress colouring in there. So the first green and then 2 So that is all the money stuff for this week. Thank you again so much for watching. Hopefully I've talked through a little bit of my kind of the binders and what different categories I've got, but I'll sort of go through it a little bit more again. As I said, the first week of the month I tend to stuff a bit more digitally, and a little bit more cash there for those kind of monthly categories. So we shall see how we get on, but thank you again if you've tuned in, and I will see you next week. Bye. Just realised I didn't do the penny challenge. And this is a bit I really look forward to each week and I completely forgot. So let's see how much we've got going into the penny challenge. We've got £1, 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, £1.80, £2, £2, 4, 6, 8, 10, £2.10 going into penny. There's a little penny. So £2.10. So let's see what we can get off. Yeah, have we got £2.10 available? Yes, we have. Let's just colour that one in there. So £2.10 on the penny challenge. So sorry I forgot that one. But yeah, and I was mentioned this in the comments on another one. I've actually put this towards a mortgage overpayment, because at the end of the penny saving challenge, if you complete it, you should have £667.95. So I just love the idea of overpaying on my mortgage just using the spare change left over. So we'll see how long it takes us to get to a first mortgage overpayment. But yeah, that's what I've decided I've put it towards, because again, it just tends to be a mixture of any of the change for me and my partner and the household food budget and things like that. So yeah, that's the plan for that one. So thanks again, and I will see you next time. Bye.